Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Project Ozone 2. Since last episode, I have been very busy. Because basically right now I'm trying to get a few different bases set up. Mainly the AE2 one, um, the automation one, and the storage one. Because I'm going to have to, when I tear this system down, I'm going to have to move it all rather quickly and, get everything like set up. So I'm trying to get everything sorted with those bases so that I can start that transition. I may even start it between this episode and next. Okay, but it's going to be a big transition, at least for the core components of it. The first things, of course, being like the biggest things being our AE2 and our storage, and then I can set up the automation and stuff. And actually, one thing I forgot to grab, I actually just moved. You'll notice the collectors are gone. I moved those. I did forget to set up a chunk loader though. But let's go ahead and pop on over, and let me double check in here. I always have to double check. We're going to Venus first. Okay, so I've been working on our automation base and our storage base. More so on the storage base. Right now, the automation base is really just a shell. Okay, I haven't done any kind of detail work on the floors. It's really just a shell that I've started building out. But this is the... Did you leave me alone? This is the general idea, sort of. It doesn't really give you a good idea. It's just a shell. Oh my gosh, I hate these things so much. Hate them. They destroyed my nether bricks. Depending, I might... Actually, I think they fall straight down. I don't think they can fall at an angle. So if I just do the roof as something different, that'll be fine. But anyways, this building, really all I've done is move the neutron collectors over here, and I have them just pumping into a compacting drawer. They're filtered. Neutronium ingots are then pumped into the system. Okay. I really have not done much of anything in here. I actually just started this not too long ago. Okay. But I'm working on it. I'm getting started on it. Now storage is where I've spent the most time, and that is in Saturn. Okay, so let's pop on over to Saturn. And I had to kind of let this big monstrosity load up. But this is what I've been doing on Saturn. And I actually went with the different colors. Originally I wasn't going to do kind of multicolor like that. But then when I set up the front of it, I got to looking and I was like, you know, if I did it like this, it would kind of look like a flower from the front. And I decided to go with it. Just to do something a bit different. Because we tend to use a bit more darker colors. Or more neutral colors, and I decided to go with something with a bit more color to it. But basically this, and it's actually, I've set this up kind of to look like it's terraforming, right? Basically I just dropped a whole bunch of TNT into this, and then I dropped some nukes at the bottom. But I kind of wanted it to look like it was kind of terraforming and collecting materials from the planet and whatnot. But basically this is, I haven't really come up with a name for it, but it's our big, like, flower ship thing. It's far from done, but this is actually where all of our storage is going to be held. Okay, and funny story, actually, the majority of this was built out of that builder block that I showed you last episode. So it's cylinders with domes attached to it. That's a backwards dome right there. That's a cylinder, and you have a big dome there on the front. And then I've had to go in and do some detail work, or started doing detail work, adding the Tyrian blocks and stuff. To kind of look like everything has framing to it. And our transport system in this area is actually going to be through viaducts. Because some of these rooms necessarily won't be accessed. Possibly? I don't know for sure. The diagonal ones, yeah, I'm probably not going to access these like through a staircase or anything. Because it's just such an awkward angle to try to go through. So that's why I added the viaducts there. But I like this kind of like glass, and you can kind of look in, and it looks like a big, like, monster spaceship, albeit multicolored. But I don't know, I kind of like it. I like the flower design coming in from the front and whatnot. It's something a little bit different, and and whatnot. It looks like just a giant flower. looking at it head on like that. But I was just having some fun with it, and I was like, yeah, we're going to go with this. That's purple and yellow, just chiseled glass, and this is that insulating glass from Immersive Engineering. So that's what I've done over here so far, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have, basically each of these rooms are going to be different segments. So we might have, say, this room could be metals, okay, and it would just be deep storage units with metals in it. And then this one over here might be blocks and have deep storage units with blocks on it. And just kind of do that for each of the segments. Maybe have like mob drops and, I don't know, plants and just different things in each segment. And then all the storage, of course, would get routed through this big space station. So, or this big, I don't know what you'd call it. Terraformer thing. So... And then I'm going to do some engine work there on the back. Originally, I was thinking about doing these like turbines with the windmills and stuff, but then I was like, I don't really like that. It doesn't really feel as high-tech if I put like turbines on the side, kind of like what I did in Sky Factory. And so I was like, no, and I tossed that idea, and then I went with this. So, yeah, I'm fairly happy with it. It is a big monster of a structure, I guess you could say. But yeah, still a little ways to go on this. But once I start getting the storage and stuff moved, it'll kind of all fall in together. I'm trying to just get everything together and sorted so I can do the AE storage, the AE2 network, the storage, and the automation systems all about the same time. And it should be done for the world upload. Okay, I'm hoping so. Fingers crossed. So, anyways, let's go ahead and pop on back over to the overworld. And I was hoping to get the automation area set up so that we could actually set this up in a little bit more of a permanent location. But I think today we're going to set this up in the overworld. And then after this episode, I think any automation we do, we should be able to put it into its permanent location on the space base on Venus. It's kind of my thinking. Anyways, one thing I do want to point out before we start automating Awakened Draconium is we're going to use the Creeper Trophy, of course. But one thing to note is if your Dragon Heart is in front of the Creeper Trophy, you'll notice it does not activate, okay? However, if you place the Dragon Heart down behind the Creeper Trophy, it activates. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's intended, but just wanted to point that out. So if you're having issues with the Creeper Trophy not wanting to activate your Dragon Hearts, that's probably the reason, is because the Creeper Trophy is probably facing in the wrong direction. Also, as a quick side note, I know last episode I talked about my ideas for it, and my original plan was to use applied energistics and use the planes to actually place blocks and do all of that stuff. However, I actually decided to change my original plan, and the reason being is because I wanted to get into a mod that we haven't actually gotten into too much within the series. And I will say that it's a little bit over-engineered, I guess you could say, but I wanted to get into BC Transport. Okay, we haven't really done a whole lot with BC Transport aside from throw down some golden pipes for item transfer very, very early in the series. And honestly, in 1.7, BC Transport is one of my favorite mods. It's a lot of fun, and it's excellent item routing system. I mean, I will say what item system that you use kind of depends on your needs for that specific build. Like, I love the blood magic conduits in 1.10 for certain things. I like item conduits. I like translocators. I like BC Transport. You know, it just depends on the situation. But today I want to do the majority of the build actually just using BC Transport. Which, of course, this stuff is very, very cheap to craft. And the main thing we're going to be using is just emerald transport pipes and diamond transport pipes. Okay? It's actually a very, very simple setup. It might look a little bit daunting, I guess, if you haven't messed with BC Transport, but at the core, it's very, very simple. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to get ourselves an ME interface. Just one of these. And then I'm also going to want some smart cable. I'm actually just going to use, I think, Fluix for this. We're not going to use a whole lot of smart cable, just a little bit of it. I'm also going to want 4 annihilation planes. Yeah, we're going to do 4 annihilation planes. Let me get 4 of these annihilation cores. We will still use the planes for certain one certain aspect, and that is the Awakened Draconium and the charge blocks. Just because it's honestly one of the best methods for this. And then we're also going to get, actually it'd be quicker to search it by formation. We're going to want 4 formation planes. I'm also going to want a storage bus, and then I'm also going to want, I'm actually going to need some Awakened Draconium to set up filters. I'll do that in just a second. But let's go ahead and get some obsidian as well. Okay, we're going to go ahead and set up the general layout of this. And for our temporary location, I think we are going to set it up, how about right here? Okay, and then I'll try to get this moved when I do the automation changeover. Like I said, I was trying to get this done for today, but it didn't quite work out that way. Oh wait, there's a, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna have to remove these vacuum hoppers. Need to go. Okay, so temporarily I think we're gonna set this up down here. Alright, and then between episodes I'll get it moved. I gotta finish kind of setting up a little bit of our automation area and whatnot. We're nearly sorted so we can set stuff up permanent locations and stuff. But we're going to put our creeper trophy down right here. And I'll tell you what, it's actually going to face in this direction. Yeah, we're going to put the creeper trophy there, and then we'll have the dragon heart drop right there. I think that'll actually work out better. And then just a little obsidian wall here. The front section's more for just decoration, I guess. It could really be any block in that case. And then what we're going to do is we are going to run some smart cable, and we'll have smart cable like that, and we'll run it just through there like that. Okay, and then I'm going to have let me get an import bus, and I'm also going to want an export bus. It's not that one. I want just a standard export bus. And then let's also get a crafting card. Then let's also get some mini chests. Okay? Let me get that. No, what is it trying to make? Oh, that's slightly larger chest. Okay, I just want that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have an import bus right here. And then we're going to have a mini chest right here. We'll have an export bus right here. And then we're just going to connect this over, bring this cable over, and we're just going to connect it into the brown line, this right here. That's fine. Just connect it into our main system. And we're going to tell this to export charged draconium. Now, right now, I also have this stuff being kept in stock, a half stack kept in stock. I might remove that since we have the crafting card. I figured I'd throw the crafting card on there. Really, I guess I don't have to have the crafting card since I'm I'll just hold on to that. We're keeping it stocked. Having the crafting card isn't really going to do anything for us. But anyways, it's going to start pumping out charged draconium. Just like that. And then I'm also going to want to get quartz fiber. And I'll tell you what, actually, instead of having that cable anchor there, we'll pull off the cable anchor and we're going to replace it with quartz fiber. And then just have that connect over. So that's got power now. And here in a second, oh yeah, I haven't placed the formation planes yet. We'll just bring those up like that. And then we're going to put on some formation planes. And you'll notice immediately they just drop charged draconium. And charged draconium is not even going to be part of our recipe. We're just going to keep it placed. And then if the heart recipe runs, the charged draconium is already there. That's one item that we don't have to worry about. So all our recipe will consist of then is 16 draconic cores and a dragon heart. And that's going to make it for us. So that part's done. Formation is done. Now we need to set up, next up, our annihilation planes. And these are going to go basically just facing in to the charged draconium. And then what we could do is we could have a little glassed in area like right here. And I mean, these could be moved to the side if you'd rather have both of them on the side or something like that. That's fine too. And actually, whenever I move it, I may end up putting the 2 charged draconium right here and right here, and then just having like a glass in front. Actually, might be what I end up doing. But I mean, you can move these around. It doesn't, it doesn't matter. The placement for these isn't really important at all. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have just smart cable connected to this. And due to our placement, I guess we'll have it just come over like that. If I had this glassed in, it would probably come up a little bit higher so that I could facade it. And then we're going to need to give this power, of course. So I think what I'm going to do is we'll connect up some quartz fiber cable right there. And then just kind of bring this over. Just like that. Okay. And once we get it in a more permanent place, we'll clean that up and have it up there and facaded and stuff like that. But basically just give this power and put your annihilation planes somewhere touching the charged draconium. And that's pretty much it for the ME. I am going to have to set up an export bus in just a moment. Actually, we'll go ahead and do that. Let's get a chest. I'm going to go ahead and get a few. I'm not going to need nearly that many, but what we'll do is we will bring out our smart cable. We'll just bring this back, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put, let's see. I guess we'll bring it back to like right here, put a storage bus down, and then throw down a chest right here. Okay, so the charged draconium just got broken, dumped into here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set a filter in just a minute and say that you can only store, let me actually break this off. I don't need this right now. I'm going to have to make a little bit of Awakened Draconium, and then what I'll do is I'll set a filter there saying that it can only accept Awakened Draconium. Okay, so for right now the AE stuff is done. Now we get to switch over and do the BC transport stuff. Now this is where it actually gets kind of fun. I am going to have to set up an interface, and I'll tell you what, for right now, let's just set the interface down. I'll tell you what, the interface is going to go down right here, right centered along with this. So I'm just going to put down a cable anchor, and we'll throw our interface down right there. And then what we'll do is we're going to bring over from this line here, where that brown cable is connected. Actually, let me get a couple more cable anchors. And we'll put like one right there, 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 and there, and there. Okay, so everything's cable anchored off, and then what we'll do is we'll just bring this Fluix cable out, right along through here, and then basically I just want it to plug up to the bottom of that ME interface. Okay, so this is going to be connected to our chest, and our chest is going to go right here. Okay, this is where all the items, the cores and the dragon heart, are going to get dumped into this chest. And we're going to go ahead and say, really it doesn't matter. We don't have to set it to blocking mode. Yeah, we're not going to worry about setting it to blocking mode. That really doesn't matter. You can set it to blocking if you want. Just a heads up. Okay, so now let's make the recipe just really, really quickly. Well, I don't have any Awakened Draconium, so never mind. We're going to hold out on that, because we'll have to get some towards the end. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start getting into BC transport. And this is where it gets fun. This is where the actual bulk of everything is handled. Okay, because we need to make sure 16 cores get dropped. We need to make sure that a dragon heart gets dropped. And we need to make sure that nothing else gets dropped until that's done running, right? And with BC transport, it's actually very, very simple to do that. What we're going to do is, first up, we're going to get ourselves some emerald transport pipes. We're also going to get some diamond transport pipes. And then let's also get some golden transport pipes. And then I'm going to want a dragon heart. And I'm going to want... I'll go ahead and get 16 draconic cores. Okay. just because we're going to have to make some Awakened Draconium in just a moment anyways. And then I'm also going to want something that can drop items. In this case, I'm going to use open crates, and I'm going to want 3 of these. I'm going to have to go get some more living wood. We are going to automate that in the very near future, but I will say it's super, super simple to automate. So, because if, like, subsystem, annihilation, formation plane, combo, like, makes everything super, super easy. Kind of like what we're doing with the charged draconium here. Basically, we're only going to have one place that the items can go, so it can only break, you know, the annihilation cores, or annihilation planes, can only break items if there's a place for those items to be sent within the system. It's planks, isn't it? So if you only give it one place to go, you know, and make it so that the item that becomes that new item doesn't have a place to go. Like in this case, charged draconium, it's not going to have any place to go, so the annihilation planes aren't going to break that awakened draconium. Okay, so golden transport pipes, diamond transport pipes, emerald, 3 open crates, and I'm also going to want 3 blocks. Any kind of block works. We're going to use cobblestone, dirt, sand. Okay, and we only need 1 of each of those. Specifically, just 1 of each of those. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set up our emerald transport pipes, and we're going to put 1 emerald transport pipe there, 1 there, 1 there. Okay, so 3 of them coming out of this chest. And then what we're going to do, set up these emerald transport pipes. And the bottom 2, we're going to set these up pretty much the same. We're first going to hit round robin in order. And then we're going to say our block. And in this case, I'm going to go dirt. And then 8 draconic cores. Okay. Then on this side, we're going to go sand. And 8 draconic cores. And then up here, and keep in mind you're wanting to hit round robin in order for each of these. Up here we're going to say cobblestone and then dragonheart. Okay? Very, very simple. And our sorting is pretty well done. Or our making sure that items don't get dropped until something is done. That's pretty well done for the most part. There's one other thing that we have to set up. And then we're going to add a diamond transport pipe here, a diamond transport pipe here, and a diamond transport pipe right here. And then we're going to have golden transport pipes come out. Let's see, how do we want to lay this out? Well, I'll tell you one thing that I do need. I'm going to need a pressure plate. Okay, and this needs to be a wooden pressure plate. Let's get just some wood planks. There we go. And we're going to set this down right behind our creeper trophy. Okay, now you'll notice that redstone doesn't activate it. That's okay. I'll show you how we're going to handle that in just a second. And then what I want to do is I want golden transport pipes to come out right there and also come out at the top. And then over here come out right there and come out at the top. And then I'm going to want these transport pipes to come over to like right here. And then these ones as well come up to right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put an open crate right there. And an open crate right there. And then we're going to do our diamond transport pipes. We're going to say yellow side. We want draconic cores to go through the yellow side. And then white side, this one is doing sand. So we're going to say white side is sand. Okay. And then over here, white side is going to be dirt. And green side is going to be cores. Okay? And so now if items go through this, the cores are going to get sent down along to open crates, and then the extra block, in this case the dirt, is going to go up through here. Alright? And then for this one, let's see, let me get some more golden transport pipes. Actually, I've got a bunch made in here. I forgot about that. And then we're going to have to go make some covers. And for right here, I'm just going to make probably cobblestone. Once we move it, we'll do some other covers, because all the wiring, all the pipes and stuff are going to be hidden once we move it. But for right now, it's fine. So we'll just get some structure pipes, because basically I just need something to keep these pipes from connecting. All right. And I will say that honestly, this system is temporary as well, because as soon as we get our wand of animation, oh, I don't have my magnet on. Okay, there's 12 covers. That's plenty. Once we get our wand of animation, then we can automate Awakened Draconium just using that. So, I mean, this system is temporary, but it's something that we're going to need a bit, so we might as well go ahead and automate it, right? Because I don't want to have to make any more of these ever again manually. I've made my share of them manually in this pack already. So, but let's bring our first bit of our first golden transport pipes. Let's see, we'll bring them up, and let's see, these are going to come up, and these are going to come up. And actually, let's go ahead and get ourselves an iron transport pipe, one of these. And basically this just allows us to route items in a specific direction. I'm going to go ahead and put that right there, and then we're going to connect golden transport pipes here, here, there. And then we just need to kind of rotate this. So let's do just like that. Basically the solid parts mean items can't go through that way. So basically all three of these golden transport pipes are going to come together, and then they're going to pump straight into this chest. Okay, and bear in mind that this is the dirt, the sand, and then right here we're going to do cobblestone. Okay, so dirt, sand, cobblestone goes into these white filters. Then we're going to need to bring the gold pipes out from this diamond chest. That's the red line, and we're going to say that red is going to be the dragon heart. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to put down some covers here so that this doesn't connect. And we'll just bring this up and over that. And we'll go ahead and block that off with a cover as well. And then bring these over so that they are right above that, which they are. And then we're going to put an open crate right there, which actually goes right in front of the smart cable. But like I said, the smart cable is actually going to be moved a little bit once we set it up more permanently, because I'm going to have kind of a glass viewing platform right here, so that we can look in. And all the cabling, we can just put a wall right there. None of that stuff has to be visible. Okay, and these cables can actually be kind of tucked along the edge here in a wall. So you would just see kind of the pressure plate, the creeper, the little baby creeper, and the dragon heart falling down. I'll show you next episode once I get it permanently set up. Like I said, I was hoping to get it done before this episode, but I spent so much time working on the storage area. And then all we have to do, I'll tell you what, let me go ahead and bring this smart cable around like that. And so basically all the dirt, the cobblestone, the sand is coming into this chest. And then Awakened Draconium, when it gets finished, it's going to come into this chest. We're going to set a filter here, which we'll do that in just a second. And then what I want to do is I just want to put covers down this, just like that. And then we'll also put cover right there, and we'll do a cover right there and there. Okay, because we're going to have to feed the items back into the interface, right? So what we're going to do then is we're going to have an emerald transport pipe go right here. And we're going to say that this has to be round robin. And this is actually going to have the Awakened Draconium and stuff. So we're going to say Awakened Draconium goes in these first 4 slots, the Awakened Draconium blocks. Then we're going to say dirt, sand, cobblestone. Okay? And I'll tell you what, let me go ahead and make, I think we've got all the filters set that need the cores and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just throw down, let's put 16 cores right there. And we'll go ahead and activate this dragon heart, because I need the Awakened Draconium to finish setting up filters, so I need to go ahead and do that. There we go. and pow. Okay. So let's go ahead and tell this that it can only accept Awakened Draconium. I'm in the storage bus, and now you can see if I was to plug this up, pow. It grabs those and does that. Now there's no way for me to actually manually pull this stuff out, so I'm just going to, I guess right now I'm just going to break this off, and then we'll just replace it. There we go. Okay. So Awakened Draconium goes in here, and then of course sand, dirt, and all that stuff's going to come in through here. And so now what we're going to do is in this, we're going to say you're going to get 4 Awakened Draconium blocks, then do the dirt, the sand, the gravel, or the dirt, the sand, the cobblestone. And then what we'll do is we'll just pump out, we'll pump out the items, and then they're going to go into a diamond transport pipe, and then have some gold pipes that come out right here. I'm actually going to need one more cover. Works out perfectly. Put that, no, not right there. Put the cover right there. And then the cobblestone, or the gold transport pipes are going to come around to right there. Okay? And then we're going to have another set of gold transport pipes come out the bottom. Okay, so the yellow side in this case is going to take the Awakened Draconium, and the black side is going to take dirt, sand, cobblestone. Okay, very, very simple. And now, let's see, we've got, I think, all the routing done. And the nice thing about the Emerald Transport Pipe, round robin in order, it has to do these things in this order. Okay, so for example, if I was to throw in, let's say this chest down here, okay? We know that it can pull out cores, right? But if I was to grab 16 cores and I was to throw them into this chest, you'll notice that the cores don't get pumped out anywhere because it doesn't currently have sand, dirt, cobblestone to basically allow it to pull those out. It has to be in order, otherwise it can't pull the items out. Okay. Now I will say that this setup does not check to make sure that you have charged Draconium. So if you're somehow low on Draconium, and this isn't going to work. However, for my needs in this pack, I have 326,000 Draconium ingots, and if I was to order, say, charged Draconium blocks, let's order 10 of them. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. I mean, you can see that it's really, really fast. And I also have a stack down there in the mini chest, so there's really no point in checking for that for my personal needs. So, also one thing before we set up the recipe and finalize this. One thing I want to point out, thanks to you guys' comments, I changed this over to a resonant autocaster, and I did throw some speed upgrades in this, so it has all 3 of the speed upgrades. So it does make the molten draconium like way faster. I have it set to, this is actually blocks. That's to toggle ingots on, so it's making blocks with that, and it's instantaneous. If it gets the liquid, it makes a block, you know. I mean, and there's a little bit of a charge up, but it's only like a half a second or something. For example, if I ordered, say, draconium blocks, let's order 50 draconium blocks. Oh, whoops. So let's order 50 of those, and you can see it's way faster than pumping it. And I can actually set this up. I haven't changed it over just yet, but I can actually change the pattern to be exact. Say 9 ingots equals 1 block. Okay. I haven't just done it just yet, but yeah. Just haven't got around to it. It still drops the FPS, but that's what we're going to go with, and that's going to get moved between this episode and next. That's going to get moved to the automation building. So it's not really going to affect us unless we're standing in the automation building ordering Draconium. So, which I don't foresee that happening all that often. So, anyways, let's set up the pattern for this. So what we're going to do is we are going to say that if you send 16 cores and 1 dragon heart, then you're going to get 4 Awakened Draconium, and we'll just encode that. Very, very simple. And we'll go ahead and throw this in the interface, and then we're going to need one other thing before we start this up. Because as of right now, you know, the creeper trophy. The automation of that's not automatic. So what we're going to get is we are going to get ourselves an autonomous activator. Easy enough. There is our autonomous activator. And then I'm going to just want like 2 pieces of redstone conduit. Insulated redstone conduit. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put the autonomous activator down. And I guess technically you could put this down underneath the creeper trophy. Can I do that? Let me try that. Oh yeah, I should be able to actually put this down right there, in fact. And right click, sounds good. Okay, and that actually should give that redstone, so maybe we don't even need the insulated redstone conduit. And that'll actually look nicer, sitting right there. So now what we need to do is actually give this some power. So let's go to Draconic Evolution for that. And we're going to get a wireless transceiver, energy transceiver, and I'm also going to need my wrench for this. And so we'll put that right there. We're going to bind that together. And then we're going to grab that connection. We're going to bind it to the emerald transport pipe. That emerald transport pipe. That. Actually, I think I can grab the connection on this side. That emerald transport pipe. That one. And the autonomous activator. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. I need a redstone control. One of these right here. Integrated redstone control circuit. Whoops. Okay, let's put this in there. And we're going to say that you only run on a high signal. Okay? So there we go. And now if we were to step on this. There we go. Okay? And items will activate that wooden pressure plate. And so now all we have to do, everything should have power, I think. All 3 emerald transport pipes do. And by the way, I forgot to show you, because when I showed you before the emerald transport pipes, I forgot they didn't even have power. But if I put those draconic cores in there, they're not going to go anywhere. Okay? And I think that's pretty much everything. So let's give it a test run. Okay? Let's throw in sand, dirt, cobblestone. And you'll see that this stuff's already getting pumped out. You know, that goes first. But really, in my experience, the only time you would ever need to restart the system, you know, maybe items get stuck up there or whatever, the only time it's not going to remember that it's already sent cobblestone and stuff. Okay, I actually have to reset the system because it thinks it sent Awakened Draconium already, which is fine. Sometimes that happens. So I just have to kind of basically reset the system. It should have gotten the items now, and they're not getting sent back out. Okay, I'm also going to need to do the same thing with the dragon heart. I think the chest has the... Basically, if the items are in here, you need to reset it. It can happen, in my experience, it can happen if you have like a bad crash. But for the most part, the system's going to remember, you know, hey, I've already sent cobblestone. Hey, I've already sent this or that. Okay, let me grab that. So now all the items should be in that chest, which is where we want it. Okay, so our system is primed and ready to go. Now all we have to do, we'll throw this stuff in there, and let's order ourselves Awakened Draconium. Okay, so you can see the dragon heart just got pumped out. Here comes all the cores. And of course, magnet rings, you don't want those on around this. Is it not activating it, really? Okay, I'll tell you what, one other small thing we need to do is let's get a couple pieces of obsidian and bring this back just by one more. Not a biggie. I don't know why this is not wanting to activate right now, though. Like, it was working fine in my test world, but now it's wanting to act up. Huh, okay. Okay, I set this chest here with an import bus just for if I have to reset the system. Like in this case, you know, I had to run that Awakened Draconium back through to basically prime the system back so that's ready to go, because what we did didn't actually work out. So what we're going to do is let's get ourselves just a timer. And I guess we'll go with a Project Red timer. And let's get, let's see, it looks like I'm actually out of circuit plates. Normally I add those to Cobbleworks, but I guess I didn't in this pack because I didn't really think about it, because we were doing all of our Cobbleworks a different way. We were doing the Ender IO Editions stuff, and I didn't think about it. That's okay. I'll whenever I set up the new automation, you know, in the new base, I'll do that. But let's get some conductive plates. Let's get a couple pointers, and we'll get a cathode. Okay, there we go. So there's our timer, and let's see if this one works. Like if it just goes directly into the autonomous activator. Let's rotate this. Actually, I don't have a screwdriver on me, so can we just do like that? Wow. Okay, cool. That does work. And let's change this over to, we're going to say 10 seconds. Okay, every 10 seconds it'll activate. And it seems like it only activates every other click for some reason. Which is fine. I mean, that makes it a 20 seconds. That's, realistically, that's fine. That's plenty. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's order ourselves Awakened Draconium. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and order, let's say 10 Awakened Draconium. And we'll see what happens. We'll order additional ones. Okay, so the first Dragon Heart came out. We can look in this chest and see it's got 2 Dragon Hearts, 32 cores. Okay, so far everything is going well. There goes the Dragon Heart. And it shouldn't blow up any cores now. There we go. The Dragon Heart activates. Yeah, see, 20 seconds. I think the next one's going to explode. Yeah. Okay. So, and there shouldn't be any Awakened Draconium in the system. Pow, there we go. And then that should get broken and replaced with Charged Draconium. And then we see the Awakened Draconium's getting pumped out. It's getting pumped back into the system. Here comes our sand, our cobblestone, our dirt. And then here in a second we should say, there we go, cores are coming out, and it's working. So, you know, I mean, I've got to, I'll run it a few times just to make sure that there's no issues or anything, but this should work perfectly. Like I said, in my experience, unless it's something about this pack in particular, in my experience, these BC transport pipes are very, very intelligent about remembering, okay, I've already ran this, you know, once before, so let's not run that again, you know. Now, I will say that if we move the Charged Draconium over, we're going to have to kind of adjust this back end just slightly, and that's due to the fact that these blocks need to have somewhere that they can slip through, okay, because they're going to move towards the heart, slide up the obsidian, and go up. But what I can do is I can always set maybe, you know, set this back by 1 and put the Charged Draconium here, or even maybe make this longer. That would work as well, which is probably what I'll do. But you can see, there goes the Dragon Heart, here comes the cores, and this is the 3rd batch of Awakened Draconium. If we look in here, we have 8 pieces of Awakened Draconium in here. Okay, so there goes the heart again, and it pulls it in. So it works flawlessly. It's nice. I mean, like I said, issues can arise where things can get out of whack, but I'll make sure it's accessible. Have like a little door that leads into the back in case something happens, it gets backed up, and I need to kind of reset the system. We'll have access to that. So, yeah, I'm happy with it. That is completed, and you'll see that the sand and stuff should be pumping out again and priming the system once more. Okay. So, Awakened Draconium, we now have 12 blocks of it. Well, that made just then we have 16 total. If we take a look in here, how many Dragon Hearts do we have? 17. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and order, say, 68 Awakened Draconium. Okay, so it sent, should have sent everything to this. There we go. Oh, I've actually got another one in here as well. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and throw in one more Dragon Heart, 16 more cores. I forgot that I had those on me. And we'll just let this run. So, now, you know, getting Dragon Heart, super easy. Now getting Awakened Draconium, super easy. Also, as a side note, kind of just a heads up, if you wanted to, you could pump the cores into just one side. And I'll just go ahead and tell you really quickly how you could do that. What you could do is, like, say you wanted to pump all the cores into this side, you would have dirt, Draconic cores laid out just the same way, but in this chest you would put 2 pieces of dirt, okay? And then you could totally get rid of this entire side if you so desired, okay? Because then it would say, you know, it would send the dirt over to here, and then it would go dirt, 8 awakened cores, dirt, 8 awakened cores, then it would be out of dirt. And then up here you would just need to change this just slightly. On this emerald transport pipe you would say Awakened Draconium, dirt and sand, and then Awakened Draconium, dirt. Okay? And then, you know, you could pump it out of one side. You don't necessarily have to use 2 emerald transport pipes. I did that because I like symmetry, but you could do it either way. And depending, whenever we set it up on in our automation building, we may, depending on where I set it up and exactly how I want to set it up, I might do 1 output, I might do 2. Okay? It just depends. So, because I might actually make these visible, and if so, I'd want it to be symmetrical. But it's really just up to you and your preference when it comes to that. So, by the way, we're up to 84, about to be 88 Awakened Draconium, and then I think it's got one more. No, that's the last heart. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so Awakened Draconium automation, that's done. We can mark that off of our list. Now, the next thing that we're going to move into, I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and put Start Project E on here. That's going to be next episode. Okay, all I need to do really is just set up some farms. Okay, and I think we have time to just really quickly get our zombie heads finally automated. So let's go ahead and turn our attention towards that. And what we're going to do is let's get ourselves some magical wood. Okay, so there's 12 pieces. I think that's probably enough. We're going to try it and see. But, okay. Then we're going to pop over here and let's get... We're basically going to make a tool from magical wood. Okay. Oh, I've actually got 14. Whoops. Anyways, we're going to go with a large blade pattern. Like a large sword blade. And then we're going to want... what all is it for the... Okay, it's 2 heavy tool rods and then a heavy plate. And we might actually make the... We might actually make the sword blade itself out of something different. Let me see, how many modifiers do we have? Because technically this thing will level up. That's 8 attack damage. It's not terrible. Because it's only going to be killing zombies. That gives it 9 modifiers. Okay, and then I could do sharpness. Yeah, whatever. We'll just go with that. Okay, it's just killing zombies. So I'm not that worried about it. And then let's go ahead and change one of these... the tool rods into obsidian, so we already start with reinforce 3, and then we'll go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, so we get unbreakable. Okay, and it's still got 2 modifiers left, so I'm just going to put some sharpness on it. Let me get a bit of quartz. And actually, I'm going to want looting. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do looting as well. Okay? So we'll do 1 bit of sharpness for right now, and we'll do looting. Now, this thing is going to level. If I recall correctly, it'll actually level up on its own once we get this set up. So we'll get additional modifiers, and then we can always go back and upgrade the damage a bit later on. So, okay, so now it does 7 hearts of damage. Now, right now, it's only a 20% chance to behead. Any additional modifiers that I get, I'll probably do beheading chance. But for right now, I mean, 20% when we're spawning zombies like crazy, It's really not that bad. And then we'll probably end up bumping it up to about 60 or 70%. Now, technically, I could go for 100% unbreakable and be done with it, but I'm pretty happy with a 20% chance to behead. Alright, so next up we are going to want to get ourselves another, I guess we'll go with another autonomous activator. Okay, so there we go. And then I'm also going to want, I can't remember if they're in here. I think they actually are in this, yeah, stabilized mob spawner right here. Okay. And then I'm also going to want a, we'll get an ender collector. One of these from extra utilities. And then, let's just get an ender chest. Okay. Now, technically, I could have all these feed into a single ender chest, but I think we'll just do multiple ender chests unless it becomes an issue or something. Alright, so let's head on over to Uranus. And, of course, that's where we're going to be setting it up inside of our mob prison. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and grab this connection here. Position saved. And speaking of mobs, I have 292 zombie souls. I should probably stop getting zombie souls at this point. I'll probably change one of these over now, because I think we've got plenty of zombie souls. Speaking of, did we ever get a pink slime soul? We did not. Okay, I'm gonna have it trying to get pink slime souls. For right now. Okay. Whoops. Just broke everything. I think we're gonna put our autonomous activator right here. And we're gonna go ahead and give it power. I think I might have had the wrong one. I think I might have had that, perhaps? Or, I don't know. I have no clue. Okay. So that's bound. And then what I'm going to want to do is we're going to want to set the ender collector up. Okay, I'll tell you what I think we're going to do. We're going to put the... Oh, I just thought something. Actually, let me get... One thing I'm going to need is going to be an attractor obelisk. Okay, I just need a machine chassis and an enticing crystal, both of which are automated. So there's that, and then, no, sorry, it's enticing crystal. And there's our attractor obelisk, and then I'm going to also need a soul vial. I've got some in my pouch, but I want to keep those. We'll just grab that. I think that's all, yeah, it's all villager souls. Okay. And I'll tell you what I think we're going to do. I think we're going to put the ender chest down, actually right here, okay? We'll put the ender chest down right there. We'll put the ender collector on top of it. And that's going to collect, let's see, we want to get the range up to 4 blocks, right? I guess technically, I mean, I could shift it over. But 4 blocks, yeah, I think I'm going to leave it right there. I think I like it right there. And then the stabilized mob spawner, we're going to set it right here, I think. And then our attractor obelisk, which technically I could put this down in the floor. The only thing is the roof of the next building is like right there, or the next section. The attractor obelisk, let me actually grab this back. I don't want that right there. That's going to go there. The attractor obelisk is going to go right there. And we're going to go ahead and bind that. So it's got power. And then, let me get one of those zombie souls. These right here. And we'll go ahead and just right-click it onto the stabilized mob spawner. Okay, so first up we're going to give it a nether star. Then we're going to get, first up a wyvern core. And then also an awakened core. Oh, I need a new wyvern core now. Okay. And we'll go ahead, right-click that onto there. Right-click that onto there. So it's going to start making mobs. That might actually be a little bit quick. Um, oh, and ignore spawn requirements. I almost forgot about that. Okay, we're going to need an apple, a notch apple. So we'll right-click that onto there, and now we're getting zombies. Yeah, this is going to be too many right now. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and put that into the attractor obelisk. And it's not actually attracting them at the moment, maybe because I'm in here. But let's give the autonomous activator the sword. We're going to say left-click with it. And there we go. It's like insta-killing zombies. Unless they have armor on. Okay. And really, we could give it a staff of power and like clear this entire room with a single swing, but that's okay. Okay, we're gonna move the attractor obelisk. It's just not working there. What if we set it up like? Okay, I'm gonna assume maybe it's because I'm in the room. All right. Let's see how many heads. We still don't have any heads. All right. Well, anyways, I'm gonna get a vacuum hopper, and we're gonna set this up. Honestly, I'm probably just going to put it, like, right here, I think. And have the vacuum hopper right there. You guys need to stop that. Okay. We'll put the vacuum hopper right there. We'll go ahead and configure this to pump its XP out there. And then for our actual XP line, what color was it? It should be right over here, I think. Okay, it's white, green, white. So we'll go white, green, white. And then all that XP is going to get dumped into there. Awesome. Now you guys... Yeah, this thing is... We're spawning way too many zombies. That's okay, though. It has like a spawn limit, as you can tell. I mean, it doesn't overflow the room. It just... There's always a lot of zombies in here. And then I'm going to need some more light blue stained glass. Zombie heads either are super rare, though. Because, I mean, yeah, we're not running 100%. That's fine. But even at, you know, at 20%, it should be getting heads at this point. Yeah, it looks like all the newly spawned zombies are actually going for the obelisk. It's just these zombies up here are like, nah, no thanks. Yeah, we still have not gotten any heads. Which is kind of a concern. Let me go off over here. I'm going to make a little area so I can get back to this for right now. Because I am going to have to do some upgrading and stuff with this as time goes on. But, okay, it's actually not getting XP at the moment. It seems like maybe I have to do it manually. So if I was to kill zombies with this manually, is it just totally not automatable? Like, is it just you have to manually kill it? Yeah, see, now I'm getting zombie heads. I've gotten 5 already. Okay, after looking in the... Oh, we just got +1 beheading and a modifier. So, awesome stuff. So now we're at 30% beheading for this. However, I was doing some looking, and in the configs for Iguana Tinker Tweaks, or Iguana... It's the Iguana head mod. You know, it's this... this thing, the Tinker's heads stuff. Zombie heads are disabled, like, for automation purposes. From what I understand, like, looking on the forums, it seems like all the heads were supposed to be +1 attack. All the heads are supposed to be that way, but we can get skeleton and creeper heads automatically, but for some reason zombies are disabled. Now, granted, I mean, I've got 24 heads, but I would like to have them automated, though. I mean, it's kind of strange for it to be forced to be manual. Because I know it doesn't drop with diamond spikes, and from what I was reading on the forums, Killer Joes and MFR grinders, none of that stuff will drop zombie heads. There's no way, from what they were saying, to automate zombie heads. So, I might enable that, because I think that's a little bit... just a little bit kind of janky, but +1 knockback. Now I'm just throwing stuff all over the place. But yeah, I might allow that, actually, because I don't like it not being automatable. In a pack like this, I don't like things being forced to not be automatable. I think the QED stuff is already bad enough, but for the most part, there's other ways that you can craft the stuff, aside from just the QED, except for certain things. And for the most part, it's stuff that I don't really need that much of anyways, so I don't mind it too much. But zombie heads, you know, because I've got resonant machine frames automated, but I can't run them unless I have zombie heads coming in. Which, I mean, it's fine. I mean, I could sit here and kill zombies manually for a bit and get the, you know, get the drops that we need. But I think I'm probably going to re-enable that because I just don't see the point. You know, if it was hard to get, that would be one thing, but literally I can just sit here and just keep clicking and get them. So it's kind of just mindless work. So I might actually change that in the configs. So for now, I'm just going to pop on back to the overworld. I'm going to throw some more beheading on this. Because we'll have like 50% beheading as of right now. And I mean, it's pretty much one-shotting all the zombies anyways. So, and the attractor obelisk seemed to work when I left the room. Now, I will check and see if, like in my test world, if maybe the Draconic Evolution grinder will get heads. Or if maybe, I don't know, like the Sword of the Wyvern or something like that would get heads. I don't know. But I'll do a little bit of testing before I enable it for sure. But I think that's what I'm going to do if it doesn't, you know, if it doesn't work out. So, anyways, on our to-do list, I'm going to go ahead and mark that off. We've got the stuff set up. I've just got to do some config playing around with it and see what I want to do. But other than that, I mean, the zombie head stuff is set up to be automated. And we got our first pink slime soul. Awesome. And we'll just throw our weapon in there. Ender pearls, obsidian, that gives us more beheading. So now it's going to be up to 40% chance and a 50% chance to behead. And we can still level it up a bit more. And then, of course, technically we've got the block of gold and diamond. And then we can also do... let me get those ender pearls back, actually. Then we can also do a nether star. And did we ever get in this pack? Yes, we got creative tool modifiers. And then we could also do the diamond block with a notch apple, right? These are craftable, yeah. Okay, so if we were to throw our sword in here, throw the gold block and the diamond, we get an additional modifier. Diamond block and golden apple, we get an additional modifier. Nether star, we get an additional modifier. And then I wonder, can we do multiple ones of these? I don't know. There's 4 modifiers. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're going to bump it up because really I don't use the Tinkerer stuff all that much for much of anything. So now we can go on and get, see, there's 60, 70, 80, 90, and there's a 100% chance to behead on that. And then what we can do for the rest of them is just pump nether quartz. Okay, so now we have a sword that does 13 hearts of damage. It's unbreakable. Knockback, Bane of Arthropods, and 100% chance to behead. So, very, very nice. We still have a fair few creative modifiers. I wonder if these are actually craftable. No, they're not craftable. But you can get them from quests and stuff, so... I remember we got a bunch of them early on. Was it from loot bags, I think, or something? I can't remember, but... Oh, and it's got looting 3 on it, too. So that's nice. But yeah, so anyways, next episode, one way or the other, we will have heads automated. Like I said, I mean, I'll double check and make sure that none of the other grinders work. But I know reading on the forums, everybody was saying that there was no way to automate it. They just went into the configs and changed it. you know, if there is no way to automate it, I am going to change it just because I think it's kind of silly to give us no option to automate it. Because it's one of those things that's just, life's better when it's automated. But we'll see. So anyways, I'm going to let that kill zombies. It's going to get us essence. Still wish the attractor obelisk worked a little bit better. But, say la vie. Yeah, even at 100%, it's not giving us any zombie heads, so. Creeper heads and skeleton skulls and stuff we have plenty of, but, yeah. We have more of those than we'll ever use, honestly. But anyways, with that, I am going to end out this episode here because I know it's wrapping up point. At least we knocked off, like, 2 things on our to-do list today. Next episode, between this episode and next, I'm going to set up a little farm. And honestly, I mean, it's probably going to be a temporary farm because long-term we can do animated blocks, we can do Project E to get essence for, like, the demon steel and stuff. But for getting into Project E, we're going to have to get a bit more essence. Okay? But next episode, we will start Project E, and then we're probably going to do these 3 things fairly soon. These will be really, really quick to do, though. So, but yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay up to date with when new videos come out. Also, I will say that after logging off and logging back in, this system was still primed and I was able to run another heart through. So it does work, you know, after logging out. It's just, I know in the past I've had some crashes where it would stop up and I would have to restart it, but you know, that's just minor kind of odd situation stuff. So I'm not too concerned about that. So, but anyways, if you guys have any questions or anything about the setup, you know, let me know and I'll do my best to get those answered for you. Hopefully by next episode it'll be moved to our new automation building. And if all goes according to plan, we'll have everything moved over to the automation building and stuff moved into the storage building, AE system moved and all that good stuff. So, fingers crossed on that. We'll see. But anyways, I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I will see you guys then.